Hello and welcome back to Extra Astrology, my favorite extra astrologist. First and foremost, guys, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We're growing the community, and the goal is to get to 200 subscribers by the end of this week. I believe we can do it. We can grow with each week, each day, each month. A few videos have popped off, and I'm really proud of that. So thank you guys for like delivering those and seeing those and taking those in. This is a community. This is a family. It's more than a business, and I'm really proud of it. Um, and you guys can go ahead and check out in the description box if you would like to have a personal reading or become a part of the Patreon. Awesome, but we're just gonna get right into it because I don't want to bore you guys with everything. And so this pick a card reading is about what the opposite sex thinks of you, right? What they think of you, how they take you in, their impression of you, and we're just gonna dive right into it. So this is group one and group two. And guys, this goes for guys and girls. I'm going to make it kind of just like gender neutral if you want to watch it, and we can just kind of go right into it. Because we all possess feminine and male characteristics, right? So this is group one. This is the Queen of Wands. The Everything is Fine card. Wake up call. Purification. Completion in reverse. We have celebration, but in reverse. And we have the moon on water. All right, guys, an interesting set of cards. First and foremost, guys, what I'm seeing that and concerning how the opposite sex thinks of you, um, I'm just seeing that they believe there is a duality in how you live your life. I'm picking up on a little bit of Gemini energy. So if you guys have any Gemini placements, a Gemini moon, a Gemini sun, Mercury, whatever, I'm seeing that in this deck. And I'm seeing that the opposite sex kind of believes that you are someone who they can't read. And if they try to read you, it's almost like it's not a correct assertion because it's like one day you're this like very much so confident, um, open, ready to just like take life on. And then there's another part of you that is like very much so insular, and you're hiding, or you want to just kind of avoid conflict, right? I'm just seeing that the opposite sex definitely finds you to be interesting. You're someone who they want to connect with, and they think you are, honestly, they don't look at you, and I hate to say this, like sometimes the opposite sex, and on both sides, right, men and female and women, we can look at the other sex in terms of if we're trying to date someone or have a hookup. We can look at someone as not human, right? We can look at them as like an object. And what I'm seeing is that the opposite sex for you guys doesn't look at you like that. You are someone who's very enticing. Like, you look like you have been through some things, and you can offer more than just your attractiveness, which you guys are very beautiful people. I'm hearing that like there is a lot about you that brings people in, but it's all connected to the personality. You have a banging personality. Like, your personality is so high energy, but then I'm just hearing like when you get into a conflict, you guys are the type to kind of go into yourselves and not tell everybody about it. I'm just hearing there's like this save a face about you where it's like, I don't really want to tell everyone about my issues. I'm here to be happy and positive and have fun and even be an entertainer to people, but at the same time I want to close in on myself whenever things get tough and difficult, because I don't want to bring that energy to other people. I don't want to stress people out. So the opposite sex peeps that, and they see how you can go from here to here. I'm also even hearing that like you guys can go from here to here with how you dress, with how you look in general. So you guys are definitely those types of people who, you know, Some days you'll come in and you'll have on the nicest outfit ever and look fresh and have great smelling cologne or perfume and hair is stunning. And then the next day you have no shame with coming in, maybe no makeup or hair messy, sweatpants, and there's no shame. And people pick up on that. The opposite sex picks up on the fact that you have no shame. Like you are someone who cannot be embarrassed. And what's so funny, whenever I think of that, I think of this girl that I went to school with. She's an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius as well. And I just remember, it's so weird the things that stick with you that people have said. But she was like, when someone tried to bring up something from the past, she was like, "You can't embarrass me. Like I can't be. I'm not embarrassable. Like I can't be embarrassed." And that's the same kind of energy I'm picking up with you guys. There's like I can't be afraid. Like I can't be embarrassed of anything, but I can kind of go into myself whenever I feel um, like something is going on that I can't control. And I'm hearing that like when you guys feel like you can't control things, you definitely that's when you feel the worst, right? That's when anxiety gets to a high level. That's when you're kind of searching or you're escaping. Yeah, escaping's right? So I'm just hearing that people, the opposite sex is like really interested in what you have to say. And I'm just hearing like a message just came to me, guys, that like some of you might feel like people don't want to hear about the bad things that have happened to you or the trauma that you've experienced. But let me tell you something, like not just the opposite sex, mind you, everybody, but in terms of this video, like the opposite sex wants to know. They want to know what you've been through. They want to know your life. They're interested in you. They think you are fascinating. Like you are definitely like someone who's like an enchanting figure that like people just like don't look at just because of their look. Okay, example. Angelina Jolie, stunning woman, gorgeous. And she's a Gemini. She so happens to be a Gemini, and there's duality in her, and men are very attracted to her, right? But she also is interesting. Like she is such a mind, right? And so people are just like attracted to the mind, and that's also why I'm picking up on Gemini as well, is because Gemini, you know, they're the talkers. They're the ones that communicate incredibly well. They have stories and they know how to frame stories and they're interesting, right? So I'm just hearing that people want more from you. Like the opposite sex wants more from you and is a lot more attracted to you and stimulated by you when you're not on 10, when you're not trying to be the entertainer, right? And that's what I'm seeing for you, group one. I hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed day and subscribe. ¿Dónde está mi gente? All right, group two. What is it about you that the opposite sex wants to get to know more, or they're enchanted by, or you know, all everything under the sun? So we have the seven of Pentacles, the Moon. We got new moon, promise. Okay, two moons. We got generations. We have got the stout, and we've got exploitation. Oof. All right, group two. So, what I'm picking up with you in terms of how the opposite sex views you or thinks about you or their first impressions is that they find that you are definitely wife or husband material. You're someone who people really wait to be with, right? So, I'm hearing that some of you might have grown up feeling like you weren't the most sought after, maybe in high school or even college, because you weren't really down, or maybe you did party, but it wasn't really what was your calling, right? And a lot of you kind of enjoy the idea of domestic life, or you want that. You want to build some type of family dynamic. That is something that is definitely important for you. And I'm hearing that a lot of you were blessed, not all of you, but a lot of you were blessed with a nice, beautiful family dynamic, or you had an example in your life of a marriage that was good, right? It doesn't have to be your parents, it could be an uncle and aunt, it could be anything, but you've seen that and you want to replicate that. And so the fact that you are someone who's so family oriented or who wants to create that for yourself is very obvious to the opposite sex. And they love that about you. They really do. They admire it, but it's almost kind of like, especially if you guys are very young, maybe 20s, early 20s, 20 to 25, and even later, the opposite sex might not be ready to fully settle down. They might not be ready to fully take that in. And also, I'm just hearing on their side, they have some type of all issues themselves. Well, we all have issues, but like concerning, commitment, there could be some issues there. And they see that like you are someone who is doing the work, and that maybe by seeing you do the work internally, spiritually, mentally, all of that, you just come off as someone who's a very well-rounded person. Like you come off as someone who has things together, and you're trying to, you work every day to have things together, and people see the work. So I want to tell you guys that if you feel like, hey, is this even showing, like, is it showing that I'm doing therapy, is it showing that I'm trying to literally change my life? And my friends, it is. So don't give up. Like, that stuff is showing, and it's very obvious to the opposite sex. And there is this, like, well, in terms of like sexual attraction, I'm hearing that you guys have very like bodies that are, they are so, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want, not homely. Homely is not the right word, guys. Um, for women, I'm hearing that you guys have like very like, you might not have voluptuous bodies or whatever that idea is, but you have these kind of, you have some meat on your bones, or you have something about you that just seems very feminine or womanly. And the same thing goes for men, is that you have some type of feminine-ish characteristic that isn't like feminine. You're not like a woman, but you are, there's things about you that are very almost like stunning. Some people have faces that are like portraits. And don't mind me, is that my Venus and Pisces talking? Please don't come for me. But like my Venus in Pisces is screaming. Anyways, yeah, like you guys have faces that are like portraits, right? So they, when you look at someone, there is an innocence there, especially in the cheeks and the eyes, and a softness, and so people feel safe with you, and they feel content and okay. Like, you're not going to use them, you're not going to exploit them, but people might try to exploit you, right? So I'm also hearing, I'm just being honest, guys, that the opposite sex, some people in the opposite sex, obviously not the entire opposite sex, um, think that it's kind of easy to manipulate you because you want so many things, and they'll tell you certain things to make you feel like they can give that to you. They'll make promises that they'll never keep. They'll say things to you. So I'm just hearing, be conscious of that and use your intuition, because you guys have intuition. You guys know what's going on. I'm hearing some of you could have Cancerian placements. So Cancerians are always, almost always, incredibly intuitive. Whenever I do my psychic calls with people, I would say a lot of people are Cancerians, and you guys are blessed with that. So that's what I'm seeing. And yeah, guys, that's how the opposite sex is, impressions of you. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. All right.